I usually get up on stage, people have no idea what to say. One time, this woman in the front row, she was so excited, she just yelled out, "Yay, Jews!" That's fantastic. On one side, we have anti-Semites, on the other, overzealous cheerleaders. But yes, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, I am an Orthodox rabbi. I appreciate the support. Thank you so much. Fantastic. Yes. And I hate, as the rabbi, to be the one to say it, but who exactly feels completely safe here tonight? I see a lot of furtive glances. Am I allowed to laugh at that? But you know what, I was thinking about this show, and I'm an Orthodox rabbi working with a bisexual Jewish comedian and a bunch of Muslim comedians in the basement of a church at Christmas time. Either the Messiah is coming or someone's getting friggin' punked. As a rabbi, one job that I had until recently, was quite an interesting job, was I did religious counseling with Jewish university students, and I'll tell you, it is shocking how young some of these students are. I met last year with a girl in Carleton, and over the course of the conversation, it came out she was born in 1993.
That's so true.
Now, what I find so disturbing is, I'm not that old, yet I distinctly remember both purchasing and listening to Much Music's Dance Mix 93. Well, that was a good year. Master T wished me good vibes for 93. Now, like, I'm supposed to be this holy man, listening to what she has to say, offering my sage advice, and yet the entire conversation I was distracted by the single thought, how can this girl be in university? She isn't even as old as the song, Whoop, There It Is! Now, I know some of you are probably thinking that being a rabbi and a comedian are maybe two things that don't go all that well together. You're not wrong. I'll give you a perfect example. A few months ago, I did a show in Toronto, and I made fun of a kosher restaurant there. Well, a couple weeks later, I get an angry email from the owner saying she overheard a friend repeating this joke to a third person. She's really insulted I was making fun of her restaurant. Well, I'll tell you, it really speaks to the two halves of my personality, because the rabbi in me is saying, oh, that's terrible. I can't believe I insulted this woman. Whereas a comedian's saying, that's awesome! People are repeating my material to their friends! You guys look like a great crowd. Where's those intermarried people? I'll smite you later, that's cool. But no, being a rabbi, I spent a lot of time in the classroom with kids. They say some really messed up stuff. I was teaching a class recently on Jewish history. Somebody mentions the name Hitler. Well, this one girl, her hand shoots up. She's really excited. She says, you know, I have that movie at home. I was almost afraid to ask. I said, which movie do you mean? She says, you know, Hitler on the Roof.
Your son, not mine.
I said, I think you mean Fiddler on the Roof. Fiddler on the Roof just sounds terrifying. You guys know it's that classic musical in which a small Jewish village in Eastern Europe is turned on its head because the daughter of the milkman decides she doesn't want to marry the local butcher, and instead, she runs off with an anti-Semitic totalitarian German dictator. It features that famous song, If I Was an Aryan. Just picture one of the scenes, you got the whole SS up there on top of the house there, two-stepping to make the roof ragged, and Frank's banging on the ceiling with a broom. Would you keep it down? Somebody's trying to write a diary in here. The lead role of Tevye is being played by Mel Gibson. I did that bit recently. I was emceeing a fundraiser for one of the local Jewish schools. Yeah, that wasn't good. Somebody came over afterwards, they're like, Rabbi, I don't think you should tell that joke anymore. I was like, well, why not? Because it implies that our students have a dangerous ignorance of Jewish history. I'm trying to defend myself, what am I supposed to say? I was like, no it doesn't. It just shows that they're glaringly ignorant of musicals. If you ask me, a little less ghetto, a little more shtetl on your curriculum, this whole problem could have been avoided. Well, there's actually Jews in the crowd who get that. I always like doing shows for Jewish crowds. I mean, it's kind of weird because I look out and I often see people I know. Like tonight I was positive I saw people in the crowd that I just saw last night for parent-teacher interviews. False alarm though. But I did a show down at Yakutsk this summer. It was an all-Jewish crowd for the Jewish Federation, and I looked out and I saw somebody who used to teach me in Hebrew school, one of my Talmud students, my optometrist, and the guy from the Chevra Kadisha. All right, not a lot of affiliated Jews in this house tonight. The guy from the Burial Society, all right? Tough to get interested in comedy when the angel of death is in the room. But it is holiday time once again, and I like this time of year because it really brings out a lot of the ignorance that non-Jews have about our Jewish holidays and customs. Like a lot of non-Jews seem to think that Hanukkah is the Jewish version of Christmas. You know, to celebrate the birth of the Jewish Jesus. But just last week, you know, people are getting excited, they're getting festive. I was in a store before I left, the saleswoman turns to me, she's like, what is it I say to you now, Happy Hanukkah? Is that what you celebrate Hanukkah? It's like, isn't that a kind of beer? I realized she doesn't know anything about Jews. If I wanted to, I'd really mess with her. Be like, yeah, Heineken. You see, back in the 1870s in Amsterdam, there was a small group of Dutch Jews who were tragically sober, and after throwing off the bonds of their oppression, they found a small container of hops that miraculously brewed for 8 whole days. So to celebrate, we get wasted on Heineken and light the empties on fire. I guess that would cut a week from it. I have had some weird interactions with strangers. I went into Moores recently, greeted by an obese salesman. He says to me, hello sir, how are you? I did the nice polite Canadian thing. I said, I'm all right. And how are you? Well, he gives me a creepy smile. He says, I'm delicious. What the hell do you say to that? How fortuitous then that you come in such large portions. Discovered recently you can get yourself into trouble if you don't take the time to read things properly. I was standing on the street corner with a buddy of mine and a bus passed by, had an ad on the side that says, late again, en retard. Maybe a few of you see where I'm going with this. The bus passed pretty quickly. As I said, I didn't have a good chance to read. I was like, late again, a retard! That is one rude sign. My buddy's like, no, it's just French. Like, then those French are real bastards then, aren't they? Oh, there's a couple of people in the back of the room, French Canadians, are like, ooh, like they're all offended. What the hell do I care? They don't like Jews anyway. Funny because it's true, isn't it, folks? The French are bastards and they don't like Jews. You know what? I defy you to find a more inspirational message from your clergy. Do a lot of shopping at Costco. You guys like Costco? Come on, it's a Jewish crowd. I don't know if you guys have noticed, I feel like Kosher's got really strict recently about checking for your membership card. Yeah. I said that at Yakutsk like last week, and somebody in the audience yelled out, no, that's just you! It's like, great, more of that racial profiling. What is this, a Jewish guy looking for a bargain? No, there's something fishy there. I don't even know what they think is going to happen if I somehow get in and I'm not a member. I'm going to run amok, causing dissent, running through the aisles, handing out anti Costco propaganda flyers screaming down with bourgeois membership-based retail establishments. All right, not as funny as I thought. Cool. Then you make your purchase, you have to go through that cracked security squad at the front. You guys know what I'm talking about. These losers, they half-heartedly look at your receipt and they draw a big black line on it. That's their security measure. I'll tell you, Costco's darkest hour is going to be the day robbers discover the Sharpie.
It's true.
You know what? I'm going to leave you with this one last thought also about Costco. Something I discovered recently. That's that in the U.S., Costco has now started selling, get this, coffins.
Oh,
it's absolutely true. Of course, knowing Costco, they're probably 8 feet long and come in packs of 12. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been fantastic.